So I've got 21 ways to build a referral-based business. One thing I want to introduce you to this acronym, BFOs. What that stands for is blinding flashes of the obvious. And it's just a fun play on words to think about. There might be things in here that you've thought about doing or you've seen others doing, but you haven't implemented it into your business. So you might have that light bulb moment where you're like, oh, yeah, I should be doing that in my business as well. So if you're taking notes today, I'd love for you to jot down your top BFOs of the day. So why build a referral-based business? For starters, it's easier to reach people. You've got other raving fans and advocates in your community or in your online community, depending on your business, who are also selling your business for you. And you start at a higher level of trust. When a referral comes in, they've already heard a testimony from someone that is in their peer circle. So they already come to you with a little bit of knowledge. They feel like they know you a bit more. Sales cycle is shorter. If someone refers business to you, A, they probably already need that service, and B, they already know a little bit about what you do and your product offering. So you're going to tighten that sales cycle because they're already ready to buy if they're coming to you. And the average sale is higher because there already is that level of trust. So the opportunity to upgrade whatever it is they're purchasing or for them to purchase more from you is higher. And they're more likely to follow recommendations because, again, they have that level of trust. So you already have some indirect rapport with them that you might not otherwise have. And there's a greater chance of getting even more referrals because if whoever referred them to you, they come in, they had that same experience that they were expecting, well, they're going to go on out and refer you too because what they were told was true and they had that great customer experience and they're going to tell more people. So you're just compounding on having those raving fans, which gets you better, high quality, high value clients, and they have a greater lifetime value. So I'm going to start out talking about the first 6 steps, which I consider must if you're going to implement referral strategies. These first few are going to be things that I'd like for you to consider and think about before you start implementing other ways to get referrals. Think of it as the foundations for your business. And if you have questions throughout, please feel free to put them into the Q&A box and we can circle back around. If I don't answer your questions throughout the presentation, I'll be happy to do so at the end. I want to start off first with a poll question and just ask, have you identified your ideal client for your business? Regardless of your industry, do you have in your mind who your ideal client is? Awesome, we're about 40%, 45%. Right now, about 3/4 of you say, yes, you do know who your ideal client is. So 75% say yes and 25% say no. So that is good. That is a good baseline. And we're going to talk about some tips that you can do to either further identify who that ideal client is, or if you're just starting out, give you some tips so that you can determine. So when you decide who you want to do business with, they'll start to show up. And what I mean by that, I don't know if you've ever heard of the reticular activating system. We call it setting your RAS. And what I mean, for an example, say you buy a new car, you buy a white Camry, and then all of a sudden it seems like there's white Camrys all over the road. It's not that everybody in the world has started buying more white Camrys. That's what you have your mindset focused on. And the same thing can happen in your business. If you focus on the type of people, customers, clients that you want to attract, that's what you're going to start bringing in. So I am a big advocate of mindset and setting your RAS on what you want to achieve. And the same thing goes for selecting who you want your customers and who you want to be walking through your doors. So first off, I'd like you to take notes. And if you'd like, you can enter into the chat box. Make a list of qualities that you like to see in your customers or new customers. Some examples could be, are they friendly? Are they pleasant to deal with? ideally, in a perfect world, we would love to see more people that are happy to see you when they come in. They are excited to buy whatever it is you offer, or they're grateful for the service you provide them. Also, do they pay their bills on time? An ideal client would be someone that pays within their terms, or has the correct type of payment, no bounce checks, that kind of thing, which we have to worry about less as more and more people switch to credit cards or online payment. But just all of those things that would make a good quality client for you. And then once you've created your ideal customer criteria, so all of those things, friendly, pays on time, gives positive reviews online, those types of things, then go through your current customer list, so everyone that you have today that's a current existing customer in your database, and see how they line up to your ideal customer criteria. Because not all of them, they might not all fall into that. And if they don't, that's your opportunity to train them to be an A-class customer. So you're positioning them to know the rules of the game for your business. So maybe you've never educated them on the terms. Maybe that's kind of been something that you've been very flexible on. And especially during COVID-19 times, I think it's a fair opportunity that if you do have some slow paying customers, to discuss the importance of paying on time as their cash flow allows, and even negotiating terms, or learning more about them so that you can relate to them, what they're going through, and possibly find additional solutions. And all that's going to do is build more rapport with them. So there's different types of customers. Your ideal customer is going to be an awesome customer. And then your second tier would be your basic. They're great. They do repeat business. They are loyal. They pay fairly well. Then you've got your can't deal with, which, I think you've got your difficult customers. You've got people that they do come in often, but sometimes it's a struggle. And then we're going to call dead, meaning those might be the clients or customers that you need to cut. And when we look at that, that's the 80-20 rule. You would hope that in your current database, at least 80% are in that awesome and basic category, and 20% are in that can't deal with. We're going to assume that dead means that they, have never paid you. They've put awful reviews that have not been able to be resolved, those types of things that possibly they're more detrimental to your business than they are to keep them on. So here we've got step 3. Work out how much each and every one of your current customers has cost you to get. And this might not be something that you thought about before, but it might take 2 or 3 transactions before you even make a profit on a customer, if you think about how much you're currently spending on marketing or incentives, giveaways, freebies that you go with the package in order to get them to become a customer. So my second poll question is, do you know your current acquisition cost per lead? Looks like we're trending at no for the most part, which that's common. That's why that's something we're going to talk about today, because it's very, very important to understanding what you're currently spending to get customers in the door, and if it's actually working, and if it's actually the best investment in your business. So yeah, we're at 21% yes and 79% no. And that's great, because that's, you took the time today to invest in your business and take time away from the business to learn. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to find ways that you can be more productive and get the most out of all of your marketing dollars. So first off, the first step would be to decide how much you're willing to invest to buy new customers, and how much that customer is worth over the lifetime of buying from you. We're going to get into it a little more in a bit, but a great example, advertising dollars. Sometimes they can really skew what they're actually bringing in the door for you. A great story I have, there was a plumber in California, and he was spending almost $10,000 a month on a commercial for his plumbing business. And he started working with a coach, and they were testing and measuring what was actually getting clients in. So something he hadn't done before was his office administrator, when she'd answer, she'd say, well, how did you hear about us? And over a 6-week period, not one of them said from the commercial. It was all referrals, all word of mouth, which was essentially free to him. So he dropped the commercial and put about $10,000 back into his business, but he just assumed the bigger and better was what was bringing people in the doors without actually testing it and seeing if it was what was helping him. So we're going to discuss how to calculate your acquisition cost and your lifetime value. And I've got an example here to work through with you. So acquisition cost. So say you have $300 marketing expense. That's what you're willing to invest in. And we'll keep it simple. Maybe you're doing a local ad in a local newspaper, or that's all. If you get a lot of traffic from Facebook, say, maybe you're using $300 to boost ads. And out of that $300 you spend, you test and measure and identify where each new customer comes from, and you get 10 customers. So you paid $30 per customer. So how can you reduce that? And there's a couple of ways you can work this backwards or forwards. Say you spend that same $300, but you find a better way to leverage it so that you get 15 customers or you get 20 customers. That reduces how much per customer you're spending. So your acquisition cost per customer goes down that way. Or you can say that you're going to invest less dollars. So maybe you get more strategic. If you're doing Facebook posts, maybe you get strategic on geofencing who your target market is, because you've identified who your ideal client is, and you can hone in on those demographics to spend less money and still have that same reach. So perhaps you spend $200 and still get those 10 customers, but then you pay $20 for your acquisition value. So that's how that works for acquisition costs, was just a basic example that you could apply to any of your current strategies. And then lifetime value determines, so say you have a client that spends $550 per year for 6 years. That's $3,300 to you. So the lifetime value of that client, if you were to estimate, and it's really easy to do this if you are in a contract-based business or service agreements or something that you do know that they will have repeat business or ongoing business. And so how do you increase that? There's a couple ways you can work that backwards or forwards. How can you increase the average dollar sale? So average dollar sale per year is $550. How do you raise that to $750 so that increases the total value? Or how do you extend the lifetime of that client? So there's multiple ways to look at that. But these are two key elements that are important to think about when you're trying to grow your business and get the most bang for your buck. So tip 5 is to be sure to keep in touch with all of your customers in your database at least every 3 months. If they're not a frequent buyer already, 3 months at least keeps you in front of them without being a little bit overbearing or ending up in their spam box if you're doing email campaigns. But it keeps you on the horizon. If you're doing direct mail, getting one piece of mail every 3 months, they see your logo, it keeps you at the top of their mind. And so you have to communicate regularly with your past customers, even if they're not coming in your doors every week or every month. So the point is, get proactive, not reactive. If they don't remember who you are, how can they give a referral? And something that we've seen, especially during COVID times, is if many businesses aren't using social media, and we know everyone is just scrolling on all social media platforms more than ever right now. So if there is someone else that is out in front of their audiences daily, weekly, they're more likely to get more market share. And that's something that we talked about Monday, is how do you take that market share from your competitors? So I encourage you to get out in front of them, be proactive, ask for referrals, ask for their business, and make sure that you are the one that's communicating and is at the front of their mind versus your competitors. So number 6 is teach your customers why it's good for them to give referrals. This is an education piece. And one thing that I always encourage my clients to do, and I'll encourage you to do, think about how you want to be referred to. You have to educate them on, what you're doing business, what your primary service is, and also why it's good for them to refer business. It could be, if you have referral incentives, which we'll get into in a minute, that they too benefit from bringing new business into you that can be lifelong clients, but also making sure that they are referring you in a way that best sells your business. So Susie is really sweet and nice, and that's why we shop there, and you should too, isn't a good enough reason for someone to go from someone that they've already been using for years to come to you. It has to be the what's in it for them. What really makes you stand out? What is it about your product or service that makes them need to come to you? Not just because you're friendly, they like to talk to you, or you're related to so and so or something like that. So this is the WIFM, what's in it for me. In a customer-oriented world, you've got to identify what's in it for your customer so that they know reasons that they should come see you. Make sure on your social media, on your website, on all of those platforms, that people know what is all available. For us, I make sure people know it's not just business coaching, business planning, business education, all of those different things. If you're a cleaning business, make sure that they know that you have special precautions that you're taking right now that you can safely service their home. What are the benefits? For a cleaning business, that would be that you can rest assured that your home is clean. We guarantee that you will be able to sleep soundly because your home has been cleaned from top to bottom, and we've taken the best precautions to eliminate any transmittal of germs. What to buy? We have multiple different tiers of packages that you can purchase, basic cleaning, deep cleaning, medical grade cleaning if you've got elderly family or ill family members that are home. So what all can you buy? And how to choose. You got to make it easy for them to pick. Is it a one pager that they can fill out? Do you have an app? Make sure that they've got multiple ways to do so. And how do they buy from you? Make it super easy. Can they check out online? Can they do Apple Pay on their phone? Do you have a Square app on your phone so that you can scan cards? You got to make it easy because I believe they say, one report I read, that especially say if someone's scrolling through and they see information about your product on Facebook and they message you, if you don't reply within 20 to 30 minutes, they're on to the next one. So you've got to make it easy and engaging for them to want to purchase from you. So Paul touched a lot on this yesterday with customer service excellence, but you've got to give awesome service that creates delighted advocates instead of just satisfied customers. They've got to build a lifelong relationship with you so that they love your service. It's more than just, oh, I get what I need and I go on my way and they wave goodbye. It's got to be where they feel that they have a special connection with you. They love your service. The people that they meet, maybe they're excited to see your front desk person. You hear there's a local vet clinic and their staff is so awesome that when clients come in for their pets' annual vaccines, they bring the office staff gifts. They bring them cookies and things because they love being there, and they're delighted advocates. They're going to tell everyone that they should trust their pets with them. So you probably saw this slide yesterday. We like repetition. Customers want to talk about getting more than they expected. They're more willing to be raving fans if they leave just totally elated by the experience they had. If they're just satisfied, then probably not. And in the chat box, think about and share some experiences that you've had in stores that were positive that you went and told friends about. I'm sure it wasn't just a run-of-the-mill average day at the grocery store. You probably texted a friend if you were like, man, you should go check out this store. They went above and beyond. They helped me pick out things for my wife or my spouse or that type of thing. So if you don't mind, share those with others, and we can always give each other great ideas on new things that you can implement. So great customer service is being proactive. Don't wait until there's a problem to start taking care of your customers. And on Monday, when we were talking about Thriving Now, that's something that I touched on. If you have been closed or your hours have been scaled down, if you haven't already been being proactive, now is a great time to get in there and say, what what negative reviews have we seen? Or what are some things that we know are challenges that we need to make better? Let's be proactive about providing great customer service. And maybe you're secret shopping your competitors and seeing what they're doing that people are raving about so that you can train your staff and implement those things as well. So make sure you're thanking your customers regularly, especially right now. We know in this current economy, many of your customers' just financial security could have changed. And so make sure you're thanking them for being loyal to you. You know, you might not be the cheapest, but the service is what they keep coming back to, and thank them for investing their dollars with your business, because if you don't take good care of them, someone else most definitely will. And that was one of the things that we talked about Monday, was really think about what percent market share you want to add to your business. And you've got to have these things in place in order to increase your market share and retain those customers. So winning customer service is making it consistent, easy to buy, great service, and excellent follow-up. And those are the things combined that give you, your business, that wow factor. So I want you to think, either enter in the chat box or as you're writing notes, think about what you can do to give your business the wow factor, and how are you going to ensure that that happens for every A grade customer. So what do you need to do now differently in your business with your team or yourself or your social presence on how you can increase that? I'd like you to brainstorm 5 ways today that you think that you can create a wow factor in your business, because no matter what your industry is, what it is you sell, what it is you provide, there's definitely ways to separate you from others in that same industry. So number 9 is just ask. Just ask people when they buy from you, or even people that don't buy from you. Ask them for referrals. When someone comes in and you can tell that they really like what they got and they had a good experience, their emotions are high and they're happy, they like you, they want to help you, they feel like they're connected with you, that's the time to say, hey, tell so-and-so, if you know someone else that could use this, be sure you send them by. Tell them that you sent them. And that way, I've seen this happen on social media. If you post about a great experience, a lot of times that business will come by and say, hey, bring a friend next time. It's super easy to engage them when they're feeling happy and excited, and that's the time to not be afraid to ask them to refer others to your business. And then I said, ask even if they don't buy, because if they came in, maybe you didn't have the exact product that suited their need currently, but you had a great conversation. Your staff went above and beyond to help them, ask the right questions, and also was honest in saying, maybe we don't have a great recommended product for you, but you built that rapport that way. You can still ask them, because they're going to feel bad that they couldn't purchase anything from you if they had a good experience, and say, well, hey, I know we couldn't help you today, but if you know someone that could benefit from this, please send them by. That's as easy as it is. It seems more intimidating to ask people to refer business to you. That's something that isn't in everyone's comfort zone. But that's a huge one that I'd like for you to keep in the back of your mind, is even if you don't make the sale, ask them if they know someone that could benefit in that way. At least that turns into one new customer, and you've still got one advocate out there in the marketplace for you as well. And so what do you think? Are sales decisions based on logic or emotion most of the time? The truth is it's 20% logic and 80% emotion based. 80% of the sales that are made is based on people's feelings at that time. And if you look inward, you can probably think about that. How many things, especially during lockdown, have you been scrolling online and you just really, really liked it, or it seemed neat, or you knew someone in your family that could use it, and then 3 days later the Amazon box shows up, and you didn't really need it, but now you've got it. It looks like Christmas in July at my house sometimes with Amazon, so I can attest to that. And this is something that Paul touched on yesterday as well. People pay for perceived value and service above the perceived cost. And One reason 68% of customers do not continue to buy from an existing business is perceived indifference, meaning they didn't really think you cared one way or another if they came back. So perceived value means that you made them feel important. You made them feel like their sale, no matter if it was $5 or $100 or $1,000, they felt like you really appreciated that sale and you're invested in them and you wanted them to have the greatest experience. And they're going to keep coming back no matter if you're the cheapest or highest in town, because they are loyal to your business. So the definition of sales: your job is to professionally help others make up their minds. So you're a professional mind maker-upper. That's it. Sales is just helping people talk through their problem, understanding the needs that they have, and helping them make up their minds and make an educated decision that's best for them. So when you take out all the making a sale or closing or all of those things that can make it more intimidating, you're just helping people. And that's a good mindset to have, to make it more conversational and make the conversations flow more easily when you have a new person walk through your store. So again, education is key. Let your customers know you'll be asking for referrals later on, because if you do that, you position them to have that in their mind, and they'll already start thinking about who they can refer to you. It just gets the wheels turning, and that way you're already set up. So when you come back later and say, so did you think of someone else that could benefit from this? More than likely they've already thought about something, or they've already sent people your way, or they do know a few people that could benefit. They may have shared your post in a private message on social media, that kind of thing, just to get the word out for you. So the point is, referrals let your existing customers do the selling for you. You end up with a relatively free workforce, sales force. So that was the first steps to creating the foundation for your business. And the next few steps are going to be tactics that you can use to really beef up the referrals for your business. So number 11 is giving you a few referrals a condition of people doing a business with you. That does sound a little bit intimidating or forceful, but it's really not. Just make people know, especially if you're in professional services, and I'm going to give you a few, if you sell a product, I've got a few examples coming up of simple ways that you can make that a condition, whether it's just dropping a card in the bag, those type of things. Because if you think about it, if every customer that you have brought in one new customer, you'll consistently be doubling your business in size for free. So even if you ask every single customer to refer business and only half of them do, you're still getting 50% more customers. So if you reward your customers with a special price for qualified referrals, that's another incentive for them. So what that means is it could even be a finder's fee, something like that. So if you know that you tell a customer, hey, if you bring someone in or you refer someone and they actually make a purchase, then I can give you a special price. And the way to do that so that you don't lose any money is to think about what you want your acquisition cost to be, which we talked about a few slides back, and how great your conversion rate is. So think about what your current conversion rate is on closing business. So for every person that comes through the door, how many do you actually make a sale on? And that's another thing that you can test and measure that's really important to understanding your business. And when you know what your conversion rate is and how much you're willing to spend, then you know what kind of discounts you can offer. So basically, you're saying your acquisition cost, if it's $30, then you can afford to give your customer a $30 discount, or whatever percentage equals the same as whatever type of scale. If your product's $1,000, sure, it's going to be a little more than $30, but you can scale that, and that way you build in your price for the conversion for the new customer without actually spending more money or having a giveaway that you give the new customer and the discount where you're actually increasing your spend. So always, always, always test and measure. That's one thing that we really, really reiterate with our clients and anyone that we can tell. Don't just guess. When you Trial and error costs money. Test and measure means that as you go along, you're trying and making sure you identify quickly what works and what doesn't so that you can pivot and reevaluate and try new things. So one tactic you can do is to offer customers gifts, a free service for each referral. Make sure that they have a low hard cost but a high perceived value. Um, a free service can be something very simple, but it can be a great incentive. So say, for example, we talked about a cleaning business. Maybe you can say, on top of your deep clean, if you get a new referral, we'll also do windows that day or something like that, something that adds into where you would already be there performing the service. Really, all it's going to take is maybe a little bit more time. But to them, it's a huge deal. That's an incentive for them to want to refer a qualified lead to you. So it's a win-win. So poll question 3, do you currently provide any referral incentives for your existing customers? And it can be super simple. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Like we said, it's just perceived value to give them something tangible in exchange for helping you with your business. Right now we're about at 38% yes and 63% say no. I'll give it a few more seconds. All right, so we've got a few more no's. We're up to 67% no. We'll go ahead and close it, 70% no. And that's great because hopefully today you're getting a lot of tips that you can implement in your business that are simple shifts that you can make once you've set those first foundational items that we talked about in the beginning. You'll be ready to roll. So I'd like to reiterate again, customers want to be satisfied, but they're going to talk about getting more than they expected. So you've got to deliver more so that they'll get out and talk in the marketplace. If nothing else, if you want to create that great customer experience, keep in the back of your mind that every experience could result in 1, 2, 3 new customers walking through your doors that you didn't have to spend any additional money on. So in your staff meetings, in your team meetings, when you're trying to get team buy-in for sales and creating that experience in your store, remind them, say, that one experience, you may be having a bad day, but that person could make or break your promotions or future growth in this business. So always think about that one person as many. So how can you give the customer something more than they expect? One great tip you can do is to let your customers give their associates, friends, and family a gift from you. Because when they get to give the gift like it's coming from them, they want to sell it because honestly, it makes them look great. It looks like they're doing something nice for their friend. And that's really easy to do. You can create a gift voucher. So if they're one of your top customers, you make it out and it says, please enjoy this gift from John Doe to visit this store for a free deep cleaning evaluation or anything like that, or a free accessory with your purchase of this. And that way, they're going to be incentivized to pass that along because it's got their name on it. They're going to get credit. It looks like they are creating a bigger investment in their peer. And also that person's going to want to come into your store and not just toss it because someone that's close to them gave it to them. They want to make sure that they honor and respect it and use it. So number 15, again, test and measure. The gifts that you give, mix it up a bit. Don't just stick with one. Maybe you create, say you're going to do the gift certificates. Create 2 variations and hand them out. Make sure, maybe you're going to give 5 of one, 5 of the other. Make sure they're affordable for you. But test, see how many come back. Maybe one that incentivizes a free evaluation. You get all of those back. Those people come in, they want their evaluation, they want to see more because their friend told them that they get amazing service from you, and they've been putting off having their home professionally cleaned for years, but obviously they're really pleased. And then your other voucher was for free windows if you purchase $100 cleaning, and only one person used that. Well, now you've tested it, that one wasn't very effective. So maybe you print more of the consultation one, or you try another one that's for upgraded carpet cleaning or something like that. Just try, and if something's not working, don't keep using it. Switch it up a bit. So give simple gifts. How much can you afford to invest? This goes back to that cost per acquisition, and also how much you can afford to discount. Be sure, Monday we talked about making sure that you've adjusted your Q3 and Q4 plans, your budgets for 2020. Make sure that you know how much you can afford to invest. The one thing that could be detrimental to your business is to spend a boatload of money on incentives or giveaways or things like that that do not bring back more business in return, and then you're actually creating more of a loss for your business. So just make sure that you educate yourself, or you ask someone to help you determine how much you can actually afford. And also, how many new prospects can you deal with at any one time? This is critical also. If your goal is to take on more market share, say 15% more of the market, or you're hoping to get a 20% increase in your customer base based on referrals, make sure you know what that critical mass number is for you. And what I mean by that is, what is that number as you're trailing up in your business that you're tapped out? Either you're going to need more staff, that you can personally only take on so many clients, that type of thing. Make sure that you know what that number is before you open the floodgates, so that you can continue to provide that great quality of service. So that's part of your budget and your strategy as well, is making sure that you know what that threshold is for growth. Say, if I get 20 new customers, I'm going to need a new sales associate or a new customer service associate, because on the flip side, you can get all of these new customers, but if you can't give them that same great customer experience, you're going to be back to square one. So these are all things that I want you to think about as you're growing your business. Mailers and referral cards. This is another very simple, easy, you can do a business card size little card that you drop in each online order or in their shopping bag when they leave your store, or have them at the front of the cashier. And it's just a referral card saying, hey, give this to someone else, and they can write their name on it and say, hey, Kelly gave me this. She said I should come by. And that gives you a simple way to thank them the next time you see them, or send them a quick email with a promo code, that type of thing. So on that little referral card, here's a couple things for you to jot down. Make sure there's a call to action. So come see us when we have our Wednesday special of the week, or be sure to use this card the next time you come in. Just something that actually gives them instructions on what you want them to do. And be specific. Make sure that it clearly states, so that there's no confusion on what that card is good for. Make it easy. You don't want to make it complicated where they have to think about it too much. They somehow become frustrated or confused and toss it. And that has a coupon. So that's where you have your promo code, or if you come in and you buy one drink, your second drink is half off with this card. Make it something that they actually see that they get a benefit from, that will get them in the door. You can also, on your labeling or whatever your packaging is, you can put a sign or a sticker on all of them. That's an easy way to buy in bulk, and make sure that your sticker has easy contact information, what you're promoting, what it's good for, and that gives them a reason to want to come see you or call you. Also, as we go into the holiday season, think about the importance of, if someone comes in and they're buying gifts, if it's got that sticker on it, they could be in another state, but if they get that and they're like, I really loved that homemade jelly, wonder where I can get that. Well, make sure your label's got your website on it, and then they can order from you, and then you've increased your customer base to even another state. So just little things that you can do. Encourage you, check out your current labeling, make sure that it's got all of your information. That makes it easy for people to buy again, so that no matter whose hands it exchanges to, they can still find you. Presenting seminars or informations for current and past customers. So If you have an existing customer base, you could do a private right now webinar, and they can invite their friends to it. That way you can teach them, you can educate your current client base about what all you do. Maybe they don't know about all of your services, and they can invite their friends, which gives them additional value. And the friends can learn about it too. And this can be for any industry as well. There's, I know many insurance brokerages are doing free webinars right now to help people understand the changes in that marketplace. And that would be a value add to invite your friend to that so that they can learn too. And for the insurance broker, they might gain more business because that person took the time to want to educate people for free. So information is power. Be the expert in your industry. We always tell people, whatever your business is, you're the expert in that particular industry. People want to buy from experts. They believe them. They have a higher rapport. They have a greater trust value. So make sure you're the expert. Make sure that you have added value. Make sure that you're not always just selling. Make sure that you're providing them with information and educating them too, so that they can make the best decisions. So you can also encourage your past and current customers to buy gift vouchers to introduce their friends. You know, in simple terms, gift cards. So you see lots of spas do this. So purchase a gift card on Mother's Day or for Valentine's Day, those type of things. But you can do it. You can encourage people to buy gift cards for restaurants to support local. And then maybe that's the first time they've tried that restaurant. They love it. Then they come back. So that's a way to get referrals that are paid referrals, because an existing customer is buying a $20 gift card for their friend so that they can have dinner on them, but it gets a new person through your doors. So always encourage people to buy gift certificates and vouchers. And make sure they know why do they want to buy that? What are the benefits? Some of those benefits are going to be ensuring that their friend, their guest, whoever it is that they're purchasing for, is going to get that same value and experience that they receive. So making sure that you're consistent. And what this all sums up to is you're building relationships with these folks. So do all of your first, relationships need communication in your personal and professional life. Communication is key, right? So do all of your existing clients even know that you sell gift vouchers? I can think of a lot of companies offhand that I don't know if they do or not, but really any business, no matter what industry you're in, should have vouchers to give away that are available for purchase, because that's a great way to get new people in your doors. You can also do a bring a friend sale. I've seen gyms do this. So they have, someone, an existing membership comes in and they say, well, on Tuesdays, it's bring a friend. Your friend can work out for free. And that person will come in and they love getting to work out with their friend. That motivates them. So then they get a membership as well. So it's low cost to get them in the door, but then you can convert them as long as you've got the great customer service as well. So think about this. This is something that you can enter in the chat box and also take notes. Where are most of your customers now? Think about that target audience, that target market, and if they're your ideal client and they're not with you, where are they shopping? And where are you going to find more just like them? So whoever your ideal customer is, they probably have a peer group that's in the same stage of life as them that's buying similar things, because our behaviors are often common to those that we surround ourselves with. So how do you get more of those people in the door? Think about that. I see a lot of groups online doing group parties where people can invite their friends to shop. That's a great strategy to use to get referrals. You're using your existing customers as your workforce to get them in. They can invite their friends to come along at no cost to them. You might even, in a brick and mortar store, think about creative ways to have a celebration in your storefront. So the key to getting referrals we've talked about is you got to be consistent. You've got to make it easy for people to buy from you, and you've got to have that wow effect. Those are the top 3 things that you've got to regularly focus on in order to keep existing clients, and then also get new people in the door and retain them as well. So again, your customers currently have a group of friends that are ready to buy. They want to purchase the same things, and including them in any way you can will generally bring more sales. If you just think about yourself personally, if you've got group texts or group threads or emails, how many times, even people you work with, do you come back and say, oh, I really enjoyed this. I found a pair of running shoes that are great, and the store here, they were amazing and they helped me. Well, they probably have, if it's running, they probably are in a running group or they follow threads and they're going to recommend it. It's all about peer groups and what they have in common, and making sure that you provide something that they can tap into and share with those people. So what we're trying to do here is create raving fans. And I like this quote a lot. I wanted to include it. And it says, where you'll be in 5 years will depend on the books you read, the people you associate with, and the action you take. And that's kind of what I want to leave you with today, is thinking about, what are you doing to professionally and personally educate yourself to create a better business? Who are you associating with? Are you building those relationships that can help grow your business? Are they like-minded people? We're talking about peer groups and who you refer to. Who are you surrounding yourself with? And then also the actions you take, the steps you take in your business. And I know I've shared a lot of different tips that you can use today, and I hope that you can at least take a couple of those and implement them into your business to continue to grow it, determine that acquisition cost, really know what your baseline is, and that way you can continue. And I'll leave you with this. How much is it costing you to stay where you are? So if you answer no to any of these questions, what is that costing you to not know how much that you're actually spending to get each customer through the door? What is it costing you to not know the lifetime value of each of your customers, and to really invest in those that have that high lifetime value? And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle. And if we've got any questions or answers, I'll be happy to answer those as well.
Thank you, Kelly. That was great. You've given us lots of things. Just as always, you've given us many many action steps to take, and things for us to consider. We do have a question in the Q&A, and she, Dean wants to know about maybe different rewards programs that you think have been effective. You did share some. I always think about. I was thinking when he posted this question, there's so many of them right now. I really honestly.
There's tons.
Restaurants all the time.
Restaurants, and then I know Paul talked yesterday. Starbucks, they've all got their points. I did an online purchase from a retailer this week, and I got a text message later that said, enter your email to join our rewards program. And it was, 10% off the next purchase. And also people do that to capture email addresses. So a lot of websites you go to, I think about that. They'll say, you want to make sure you get this 10% and get into our rewards program, and then you can add them to your database. So that's kind of a twofold strategy also.
Yeah, on a customer side, when you do see this, I see them a lot on, we're looking at furniture right now, and before you can even go to their website, they want you to enter their email address. Please check out the business first before you do that.
Yeah,
Make sure that they have a good rating with BBB. And
yes, don't just give your information away.
Look at their privacy policies, for sure. It's worth it to take a little bit of time to do that, for sure. I've also seen businesses that are related refer each other. So you might go to a store and you'll see some gift cards from a restaurant or something like that. So it's good to get with your peers, as you said, and maybe work something out with them and just say, look, you might have similar customers,
Sure.
Would you put these in your bags? Would you send these with your packages? And I'll do the same for you. You might have some giveaways, and you might have a friend who maybe has a promotional company, and maybe y'all could do some kind of cross-promotional stuff that way as well. So there's a lot you can do. I know that there's a financial advisor here locally, and every quarter, he does a customer appreciation thing, and he rents out one of the smaller movie theaters here and allows his best customers and their families to come and watch a movie. And it just, you just get emotionally attached, I guess. Like you said,
Yeah.
that's an emotional decision. That's a way to create some really loyal customers, and they're probably sharing their experiences on how giving, this financial planner is, and things like. There's just so many ways that you can really build that relationship and that trust relationship with your customers.
And as you said, strategic partnerships is huge. No matter what your region is or your industry, there's always going to be businesses that are complementary to yours. So really forging those relationships and making sure that you have them in your corner. We see all over right now, shop local, support local. Make sure you're doing that and you're encouraging them. And that rapport goes both ways. They're going to want to see you be successful too.
Oh, sorry, the same question that was in there. Okay. A couple things in the chat box. Let me get back and look at that. Strategic partnerships, for sure. Yeah, and when you have a good experience, make sure you're sharing that with even though you're a business owner, share that good experience. You're a customer too. Share that
Yes.
with others so that they can have that good experience, and you can help your local business owners.
One thing
Partners.
I always encourage our team to do and that we do ourselves is to reciprocate. So people are so much more likely to post those negative reviews. And we all know as business owners how detrimental that can be to your rating. So take 30 seconds out of your day and give someone a 5-star if that was your experience, or write a quick review on whatever platform you choose to do. But that goes a long way, and people do read those. So you're really helping businesses thrive by doing that.
So Sandra Rogers raised her hand. Let me see if I can figure out how to. Sandra, do you want to put something in the chat box? I can unmute you. Hold on one second. If you have a question. Sandra, let me find you. There you are. All right, Sandra, I've opened up your mic if you want to ask your question. You're muted. Let me unmute you. There we go. I think you also have to unmute yourself. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you'll have to unmute yourself, Sandra. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I think she was just telling me she couldn't hear me.
Oh.
Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I was listening to an audiobook over the weekend, and you can't underpromise and overdeliver anymore in this day and age. You have to overpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
So,
Consistency is key. You can't,
yeah.
Don't underestimate yourself or even undersell. No, you got to be consistent across the board. Make sure that people know what to expect and that you give them that when they come through your door or they call, anything like that.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be something simple. I love to order from, local artists and, people that make things by hand, things like that. And I love it when they give that extra and they write a personal note that was specific to my purchase.
Yes.
Those little things are great. And they, again, one of those things that emotionally tie you to that business.
We talk about that a lot. We call them critical non-essentials. So it doesn't take much to know if someone, especially in the world of social media where we're so also interconnected, it doesn't take much to know someone is a dog lover, or maybe you saw something that they were moving, or if you have a customer database where they're entering a lot of information and you capture things like birth dates or anniversaries, send them a little note card. That can really brighten someone's day. And talk about getting lifetime customers. They're going to stand by you when you make those little steps to really identify them and make sure they know you care.
Absolutely. So tomorrow, somebody you know very well is going to be our presenter. He's going to talk about 5 ways to massive profits. Can you tell a little bit more about what he's going to talk about?
Absolutely. So Robert, he is a serial entrepreneur, and he has massive financial experience, and he's going to be going through There's certain things that people think are the drivers in their business to really maximize their profits and increase sales. And he's going to tell you about the 5 components that are actually the pieces that you can move. So like in a chess game, he's going to tell you strategies and ways to move those pieces so that you can increase your profits and really improve your business. And all of them are very applicable right now. It's really and truly the framework of our business and how we teach people. So it's going to be very educational, regardless if you're a solopreneur, startup, or you're someone that's been in business for 30 years. There'll be something that everyone can walk away from and use.
That's awesome. And we're all looking for ways to increase our bottom line right now. So
Yep.
definitely, you don't want to
Miss that one. As a reminder, within the next 24 hours, you'll get a copy of the recording for this video and to the ones that we've done previously this week. So they're all there, all the handouts. You'll have, you can download the handouts. I emailed everybody the handouts yesterday that has participated so far. But there is a way to download those handouts online and have copies of the YouTube video. So hopefully you guys will join us for the rest of this week. We're looking forward to seeing you again. And remember, all of these tied together, so you don't want to miss any of them. So go back and listen, take more notes, and then go and apply all you've learned. And we are, again, thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yeah.